Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. If you're new here, my name is Maria. I do DIYs, hauls, reviews, and more. So thank you for stopping by and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified every time I upload. In today's video, I have two Kirkland inspired home decor DIY dupes. My first DIY is going to be this door, and it is around 30 by 8.5 inches. It is smaller than the one at Kirkland, but mine cost me less than $6 to make, including the paint, compared to the one at Kirkland, which is $119.99. From Dollar Tree, I will be using their garden plastic fence. 2 packs of the 5-gallon paint stir sticks from Lowe's. 3 come in a pack. I will be using some jumbo popsicle sticks. These are from Lowe's. I'm going to start by laying down the fence, and then I'm going to place 2 of the paint stir sticks, 1 on each side, and then I'm going to mark them where I want them to be cut. Then I'm going to grab another paint stir stick and put it at the top and measure it to 8.5 inches. Then I'm going to use the same paint stir stick and measure another 8.5 inches. With the 4th paint stir stick, I'm going to mark it to 8.5 inches so I can use that because I need 3 8.5 inches. The 5th and the last paint stir stick I will be using, I'm going to make 2 8 inches out of that one. Once I have them all measured, I'm going to cut them using my saw. And if you don't have a saw, you can use a knife and it works too. It's going to take a little bit longer to cut them. Once they are all cut, I'm going to show you all the pieces I was talking at the beginning. I'm not sure if I explained it right, but I'm using 1 paint stir stick on each side, 2 of the 8.5 pieces, 1 at the bottom and 1 at the top. The last 8.5 inch stick is going to go at the bottom. Then the other 8 inches, 1 on each side. So I use a total of 4.5 of the paint stir sticks. I will be using 2 sections of the fence. I am cutting around the designs and saving the side pieces because I will be using those as well. Be careful while cutting these because they are fragile and they can mess up easily. Once my first section is cut, I'm going to cut it in the middle, and then I'm going to cut it around the designs again so I can remove the side. Once I am done cutting the first one, I'm going to cut the second one just like the first one. Now I'm gonna start gluing everything, and I'm using my Elmer's wood glue, and I'm also using popsicle sticks because I'm going to glue those to the back so I can be able to finish this DIY in one day because, like I said before, the wood glue you have to leave it overnight, and since I won't be doing that, I am using the popsicle sticks with hot glue. I will be gluing popsicle sticks to the top and to the bottom. I glued the rest of the paint stir sticks, the bottom part of the door, and now I'm adding the popsicle sticks to the back. I had to cut the ends of the first 2 popsicle sticks because of the smaller popsicle sticks I added on the sides. I'm only using my hot glue to glue these, and I'm using a total of 9 jumbo popsicle sticks. Now that is all nice and glued, which by the way, I left it sitting there for an hour before I started to stain this, and I will be using my antique wax to stain the the door. Before I start gluing everything or the rest of the door, I am going to arrange them. You can do a lot of different designs with these little pieces. So once I am done arranging them, I'm going to start gluing them, and to glue them I use my hot glue. By the way, I'm using the sides I had removed from the designs or around the designs, and to glue these or to keep them together, I'm going to use a skewer stick that I had, and that is going to help them stay together or make them more sturdy as well. I ended up trimming the other designs. My phone died while I was gluing the design to the door, but all I did was I used the edges and I glued it with my hot glue. I will show you the back once I am done adding the rest of these little designs. As you can see, I glued the edges and I used a lot of hot glue on the back. I absolutely love how this store turned out. It is smaller, so keep that in mind, but it is a lot cheaper. My second DIY is this welcome sign. For this DIY, I'm using all the materials I already had from Dollar Tree, like the Easter egg, this planter hanger, the dowel, and a paint stir stick, but you can use a jumbo popsicle stick instead. Dollar Tree shelf bracket and sign. I'm using a paint stir stick instead of the popsicle stick, and I am going to make this smaller. I'm also cutting the sign in half. This is a Valentine sign. You can use any sign from Dollar Tree. And I'm using a box cutter to cut this, and I'm using this ruler so it will be easier, and I'm going back and forth until I cut it and then just bend it. By the way, I'm reusing this Valentine sign. I used this a while back and I got this from Dollar Tree. I repainted the front white and the back black. I will only distress the white side using black. I freehand drew the word welcome, but you can use stencils or even transfer the words. As you can see, I messed up several times. I then went over the letters with black paint. So at the beginning of the video, I had showed you a planner hanger, and I was going to use that, but then I remember I had the leftover parts of the windmills and they have these little chains, so I decided to use those instead. But don't worry, if you don't have any of the chains, you can easily use something else like shoestring or any other string. Even ribbon can work to hang these. So I'm going to put one of the links through the little holes that the sign already has, and then I'm going to use the pliers to close them back up. I will be doing the same thing to the other chain, but I took one of the links off, so it's gonna have 5 links and the other chain has 6. You will see why later on in the video. I will be painting all these 3 black. Now I'm going to put the bracket together and I will be gluing it to the stick, and I'm using my hot glue to glue this. By the way, I cut the egg in half, that's why it looks more like a knob. And before I glue it to the dowel, I'm going to make a hole, and then I'm going to add hot glue so it can stay. Now I'm going to glue the dowel to the bracket. Since I'm not using E6000 because the sign is not heavy, but I just don't want it to fall, I did use a good amount of hot glue. So this is why you need the extra link on one of the sides, is because when I hang it, it's going to be over the bracket, so it's going to make it higher. So once I am done hanging it, I'm just going to close it up with the pliers, and I added a little bit of hot glue so they won't move. This dupe cost me less than $7, and that's including if you have to buy the whole bag of dowels, the whole bag of popsicle sticks, the chain, and the whole bag of eggs. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. See you next time. Bye.